What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our content predictions. Well, my content predictions for tomorrow's content here in NBA 2K25 My Team. I know y'all have been enjoying these content prediction videos for the most part, so we're bringing it back this week, doing another one. And I don't really have anything specific to go off of this week. I'm just kind of guesstimating that this week is going to be a more exciting drop, because last week's drop, while not bad, it wasn't like a game-changing, super duper exciting drop. There were certainly very good cards. Akeem, Kawhi, KG here. All the pink diamonds are good, but none of the pink diamonds are like the best cards at their position. None of them were game breaking. There weren't like really, really good diamonds. There were a couple solid ones. I mean, Chuck Person, Jamal Crawford, and Kermit Washington are all pretty good, but there was nothing insane about last week's drop. It was just a pretty standard drop of content for the most part. And so I think it's definitely this week going to be one with a few more like really big name, maybe not game changing, but impactful cards in my team. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily My Team content. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. We're going to start off with an Amethyst, and y'all have, shockingly, I bet y'all can't guess which Amethyst I'm going to pick. You probably can if you've watched these content prediction videos. The thing is, Amethyst, literally every single week, I want the exact same card, and it is right here. Amethyst, DeAndre Ayton. He would be the best budget center in the game by a significant margin. This card would be a very, very big addition to a lot of people's squads if they were able to add him to their team. Just because for a no money spent player, a big who has Hoff Rise Up and Hoff Paint Patroller, as well as 18 other base badges, including pretty much every single key defensive one, would be really, really good, because then all he needs, I mean, he can only get 4 badges because he's an Amethyst, but all you really need to add on him is Break Starter and a few shooting badges. And that he's pretty much as good as you need for a big, because he's got enough speed. He's got a high enough 3-ball to hit. He's got a good standing, good driving dunk, versatile defender, great rebounder, and 80 speed, as well as a 7-foot big. This card would be able to compete with top tier bigs in my team for 15, 20, 30,000 MT, which is exactly what my team needs, I feel like, when it comes to cards like this for right now. So I'm pretty excited about the concept of this card coming to the game. Now, will he come anytime soon? I don't know, but this is the perfect budget center, and really the only Amethyst hidden gem that would be a game-changing option at the center position whatsoever. And so I really hope we get this card, because I think he would be obviously an absolute beast. So yeah, I'm gonna literally, like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm gonna continue to predict this card as my Amethyst every single time I do one of these content prediction videos until he comes out, because he's the Amethyst that I want the most out of all the Amis that are available. Now moving on to diamonds, which obviously is a much bigger group of cards. I'm predicting 5 diamonds, and continuing the theme of expecting this week to be a better week. I think this will be a week similar to the top of class drop or the Dunktober drop, where the content is actually really, really good, including diamonds this week. And this is one of those drops that I think will be one of those stronger overall drops. And so first and foremost, the first diamond I'm going to pick, and I'm going in order of the pages. The first one I'm thinking we get is Rui Hachimura, who would be a kind of a slightly worse version of Paulo Banchero. He's got 32, 36, 30. Is that 38 total badges? Yes, he literally has 38 total badges as a base card. The only 2 badges he doesn't come with are Post-Fade Phenom and Dimer. This card does not have as good of a jumper as Paulo, but he is similar to Paulo in that he's a really versatile small forward, power forward who can do everything well and has every single important badge. And so honestly, I think this card makes a ton of sense as a realistic pickup. And a realistic card to drop for a lot of people's teams. They've been dropping a lot of good diamonds, and this Rui Hachimura would be probably slightly cheaper than Paulo and not quite as good as him, but still very, very good. And I think this card would make a ton of sense to add to a lot of people's teams and as a reasonable diamond for tomorrow. The second diamond I'm predicting is actually also on page 2, and that is this diamond Kirk Heinrich, who I think would be really, really good as a point guard because he's 6'4". He's a capable but not elite slasher, 70 driving dunk, but he's got 93 3-ball, fast jump shot, 89 ball handle, 94 steal and perimeter, 80 block, 78 interior, 70 strength, 89 speed to a ball, 95 agility, and 82 vert. He's got a really good jumper and Hoff Deadeye, Dimer, Challenger, Pick Dodger, Glove, Set Shot Specialist, Versatile Visionary, On-Ball Menace, and then 23 other gold badges as well. Really comes with, again, pretty much every single important badge for a point guard as a base card. If you add like Posterizer and Brick Wall, and he even has Brick Wall, Posterizer, Paint Patroller. Does he need anything else? No, not really. Everything else he doesn't have is a post badge. I really think this card would be awesome as well. And he's not quite as big of a name probably as some of the other names they could drop, but I think he'd be really, really good nonetheless. After that, the next card that I am predicting as a diamond is on page 4, and it is this Walter Davis. There are always a few diamonds that are not, a couple diamonds at least, that aren't as big of names. I think this Walter Davis would be that one for this, but he'd still be a good card. 86 3 ball, 95 driving dunk, 84 steal, 88 perimeter, but not great block or interior. Not great strength either, but 91 speed, 88 speed, ball and agility, 92 vert. This is still a pretty solid card. He would certainly not be as good as the other diamonds that have come out, or that would be coming out, I guess, today, but he would still be a pretty solid option at the shooting guard position, assuming his release is good the way that it has been in previous years. I actually think this Walter Davis would be really, really nice. So that's a card that I would be excited to see drop, and hopefully would be a really, really solid budget shooting guard option, because I don't think he'd be as expensive. Moving on, another solid but not unbelievable diamond that I think we could get tomorrow is Jean Leon, and that is 94 offense, 85 defense, good post game, good shooter, 84 3 free throw, decent dunker, 82 block, 84 interior. But the problem with E is that he's got 67 speed. Again, he's one of those cards that makes sense to me as just an overall kind of mediocre diamond that they would drop, who wouldn't be quite as good, wouldn't be quite as expensive, but would be a decent card if he, I mean, I don't think he's great, but if he was faster, I think this card is really solid. But unfortunately, I don't think he would quite be that. I still think he'd be decent, but I don't think he'd be like unbelievably insane or anything because of the lack of speed. Definitely not like a top tier card or anything along those lines. I will say one other card that is potentially a good option, and I think this card makes a lot of sense as the last diamond, and he'd be a monster, is this Mo Bamba. We have not gotten a really good diamond center in a while, at least. I mean, I guess we got Brad Doherty this week on the Tuesday drop, who was very, very solid, but it's been a while since we've gotten a really good diamond hidden gem big or anything like that. And Mo Bamba's 89 offense, 94 defense, 7 foot with like a 7'10 wingspan. He's got a smooth, easy release, good 3 ball, really good dunker, 94 block, 90 interior, 92 rebounding, 82 speed, 75 agility, 80 vert, 68 strength. I know the strength is low, but he can shoot the ball really well. He's got a nice release. He's got hot rise up, paint patroller, good interior gold badges as well. This card wouldn't be the best big in the game or anything, but he'd be a very, very solid card, and probably a relatively affordable diamond big as well. A guy you could get for maybe 100 or 150 KMT, who could compete with the best bigs in my team. And a big plus about a guy like Mo Bamba as well is that wingspan. It allows him, his player build and wingspan really would allow him to help compete, kind of like Chet does against Wemby, almost better than anybody. And I feel like he'd be a great option for people who can't afford Wemby as a potential counter, and overall is a really, really good card in my team. So I'd be excited about seeing this Mo Bamba card in my team. And you know what, we'll have to wait and see if that actually does happen, but I would be pretty hyped if he were to drop in the game, and I think he'd be an amazing, amazing card. So that is my final prediction for the diamonds. Now, moving on to pink diamonds, there are 3 that I think will come tomorrow. We'll start with the one, there's always a pink diamond who's not as big, exciting of a name, I guess. And for this week, my guess is that's going to be Allen Houston, kind of the more not as exciting pink diamond. Now, I think Allen Houston would be really good. 6'6" shooting guard, good shooter, super solid slasher, pretty solid all-around defender as well, and always has a nice jumper. Like, I think this card would be very, very good. My main concern with Allen Houston would more so be with his honestly, I think it's mostly name recognition with this card, because I wouldn't have huge concerns with him as a card. I think he'd be really, really good. I just don't think he's got the biggest name. I don't think he's the type of card that generally gets people super duper excited about my team or about picking up that card. But I think he'd be really, really good, and I think he'd honestly wind up being relatively affordable for a pink diamond for how good he is. So he's a card who would make sense to me as a good but not giant name pink diamond option. Next you have another guy who I think would be on page 3, by the way, who I think would be really, really good, but maybe not. Huge name. I don't know how good he'd be though. Is Yao Ming. I don't know why I feel like Yao Ming's coming this week. Maybe I shouldn't feel like Yao Ming's coming this week, but I do think, despite the fact that he is 7'6", a 54 3-ball would kind of prevent this card. Hold on. All right, before my dog rudely interrupted me, I was talking about Yao Ming. Point being, this card is not going to be that good. 54 3-ball, 59 speed. He's 7'6", yes, but he is not actually that good of a card. He's just a huge name. And because he's not that good, that's the main reason I think he's going to come soon, is because he doesn't really shoot well. I mean, 54 3-ball is high enough to hit wide open, especially with the way stick shooting is this year. So he'll be able to hit wide open, but he's not going to be a consistently elite shooter. And the 59 speed is also going to be a flaw. So overall, this is not a card that I'm sitting here expecting to be great. He's just a very big name, and I think would sell packs, at least to a certain extent, is my main thought with Yao. And then the final card that I think we're going to get tomorrow, look at this page 6 and tell me who you think I'm going to guess. You probably can guess it. Magic freaking Johnson, 6'9" PG, 98 offense, 88 defense, 77 three ball isn't amazing, but he is 6'9" at the point guard position. The point guard position is already pretty stacked with some really good cards. Magic would be the tallest point guard in the game, one of the best defensive point guards in the game, purely because of his size. Super switchable and versatile, but also I think jumper's never good on him. Movement never really is all that good on him. He would not be quite as good as I think people anticipate he would be. I'm not saying Magic would be a bad card, but I'm not sure he'd be the best point guard in the game just off rip. But again, similar to Yao, massive name, would definitely sell packs. I feel like Magic, Yao, and Allen Houston would be an interesting trio of pink diamonds to get in this week's drop. So with that being said, that's what we're going to call this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.